President Donald Trump did follow through with his tariff threat to Mexico, Canada, and China. Forget about the other two, okay? I'm only here to talk about Canada and how it affects us. And of course, you know what? We cannot count on our politicians here in Canada whatsoever to react correctly, or for that matter, you know what, take the right actions in the future. So part of the things that, you know, when I take a look at Donald Trump as a human being, you know what, love the guy or hate the guy, the truth is he's did exactly what he told everybody he was going to do. And in reaction to his demands, you know, our government fumbled their way to today. You know, it's amazing how Justin Trudeau actually believes for 1 second that he has any kind of relationship with Donald Trump. So for the last almost 10 years, Trudeau has been the worst narcissistic prime minister we've ever had who hasn't cared about the country. So when Donald Trump put the demands on Canadians, and I know there's going to be some of you that'll sit there and say, hey, Todd, it's not about fentanyl. I'm going to turn around and say, yeah, but hang on. Are you telling me that for a 6-year budget of $1.3 billion is actually protecting the Canadian borders? And a fentanyl czar that didn't even give anybody a report, basically just, you know, sat there in the wings and did nothing? Look, you're pissing off the guy that can help control your financial future. And of course, we've got Trudeau, who absolutely has no idea what he's talking about, but why not hear his rationale?
They've chosen to undermine the incredible work we've done together to tackle the scourge that is fentanyl, a drug that must be wiped from the face of the earth. So on that point, let me be crystal clear. There is absolutely no justification or need whatsoever for these tariffs today.
Well, you know what, there, Trudy? The truth is that you're getting schooled at the cost of Canadians. You know, when he turns around and says incredible effort, the guy hasn't been in Canada for the entire month after we got the reprieve for a month. And he has not been following up. What's he been doing? He's been spending our money all around the world. I mean, the guy jet hops something fierce. He turns around, charges Canadians for absolutely everything, even his own groceries. And he ends up giving Ukraine 2 weeks ago another $5 billion for Canada, but wants to sit there and beat his chest that $1.3 billion protecting a border is enough. The guy is completely delusional to the point where he wants to sit there and take on the President Trump in ways we've never seen before. In other words, shoot off your mouth and dig Canada into a deeper hole. Let's take a look.
Now I want to speak directly to one specific American. Donald. In the over 8 years you and I have worked together, we've done big things. Now, it's not in my habit to agree with the Wall Street Journal, but Donald, they point out that even though you're a very smart guy, this is a very dumb thing to do.
Wow. Yeah, that's what you do. Insult the guy that's controlling the tariffs. You know what? This just shows you the diplomacy of this asshat who knows nothing. And I'm sorry if Canadians all think the right reaction to this is go after, you know, Trump, go after the administration, go after the U.S., go after everybody. It's wrong, okay? It's not the way you get through to people and going tariff for tariff and sitting there saying, look, calling him Donald, how about, you know, President Trump? Because after all, he shows you respect, Governor Trudeau. Let's see what else they have to say.
We will relentlessly fight to protect our economy. We will stand up for Canadians every single second of every single day because this country is worth fighting for.
He is a liar, okay? I'm going to tell you he is a liar. Yeah, As Canadians, we know our country's worth fighting for, but for him to sit there and say that he's fighting every single day, he hasn't fought in the last 9.5 years. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. He's sitting there padding his exit right now. He's going to turn around coming up soon, and we're going to all of a sudden have a new leader of the Liberal Party who will then be invoked into being the actual Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, and then we're going to be at his mercy. These politicians don't know the first thing about negotiations, and they, quite frankly, they all need to step aside so we can get the right people to negotiate. Definitely not these guys. But one guy that doesn't know how to negotiate is this guy. Okay? Here we've got Premier Ford, and you know what? He's nothing but a backyard bully that doesn't know that he's met his match, and he's making threats that sound more like warmongering than anything else.
If they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do everything, including cut off their energy, with a smile on my face. So, and I'm encouraging every other province to do the same. Quebec, Manitoba, BC, we all have to act in unison. Out east, they rely on our energy. They need to feel the pain. They want to come at us hard. We're going to come back twice as hard.
First and foremost, he's an absolute idiot. He doesn't have the power to cut off energy. That actually is almost a statement of war. Second of all, what he doesn't realize is where Ontario gets their natural gas through. Comes through Sarnia, Mr. Premier. Don't you realize that, hey, you cut off theirs, they cut off ours? You see, it's actions like this that just shows how pathetic our politicians truly are. Sure, did he just get a mandate this past week saying, you know what, it was probably the least number of voters turnout, but nobody else knew who to vote for. But this guy has got a screw loose if you think that you're going to try to make Americans suffer. And the funny thing is that he thinks that they are sitting there trying to decimate Ontario. A tariff is a tariff. Tariffs are part of the world economy. Learn how to deal with it, learn how to negotiate with them, and maybe you won't put the actual Canadian people at risk. That's all these politicians have done for years, okay? It is pathetic. The people that are leading this country at this time, through these times, all I can say is this. We really have to keep our eyes wide open right now. I'd love to hear your comments on this. And you know what? Thanks for tuning in. One of the most important things we can do, watch out for our fellow Canadians. Watch out for your family. Watch out for the next generation. I'm Todd C. Slater. Thanks for tuning in.